Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am Mr. Kadim Khan and I am a lecturer in the Institute of Computing, Quad University of Science and Technology. Today we will take lecture number 13 of the subject of software engineering, in which we will discuss the project monitoring and review, personal selection and evaluation, report writing and presentation. These are the activities of the software project management. These are the last activities. In the previous lectures we have also discussed the other activities of the project management. This is the discussion agenda. It contains the topic of project monitoring and the project review. Then we have the personal selections and personal evaluation. Then we have report writing and the report presentation skills of the project manager. Number fifth activity is the project monitoring. As you know that its name indicates to monitor the project continuously. So it is a project monitoring activity and it is a continuing project activity. That means it should be conducted every time, and in fact on the basis of the days and weeks the project must be monitored. So the project manager must keep track of the progress of the project and compares actual and the planned progress and costs. So the project manager has the responsibility to monitor the actual and the planned progress and the cost or the budget of the project. So although most organizations have formal mechanism for the monitoring, a skill manager can often form a clear picture through informal discussion with the project staff. So mostly the project manager has to perform the informal discussion with all the staff of the project, so that if they have any problem, that problem should be identified and resolved. So this is the responsibility of a skilled project manager to form a clear picture, and through certain discussion and the meetings with the project staff members, that should be informal, not the formal. That should be in a very much friendly environment. If the discussion with the project is in the friendly environment, so then the more problems can be identified and easily. Informal monitoring can often predict potential project problem by revealing difficulty as they occur. So that's why the informal project monitor or the informal discussion is much better than the formal discussion. Rather than waiting for the scheduled slippage to be reported, the software manager might assign some expert to the problem and might decide that it should be programmed around. So for the project monitoring, the project manager must have to schedule different sort of the meeting. If the problem is of the scheduling and the slippage, then the project manager might have to call some experts to resolve this problem, and the schedule or the scheduling should be again drawn. Okay, now project monitoring have different activities. This is the monitoring and controlling process. So the project manager is responsible for the different sort of the monitoring. Here you can see there are 11 different activities and different sort of the tasks of which the project manager must have to monitor all of them. Number one is the monitoring and controlling project work. Here the project manager must have to ensure that the work of the project should be not interrupted and it should be continue on all aspects. Secondly, performing integrate change control. Here the project manager must have to look after the integrate change control process. Integrate change control means that when a particular component is changed, then it is redeveloped and reintegrated. So here the integration change control has been monitored, should be monitored by the project manager. Next one is the validate scope. Validate scope means every project has a scope and that must be validated or it must be tested. Scope defines the purpose, the objective and the business goal of the project. Next one is control scope. If we are slipping from the scope or we are drifting towards the another side rather than the scope, then the project manager must have to control the scope. Control schedule. Schedule means time framework required to complete the project. So the project manager must have to monitor the schedule and it must be controlled by the project manager. Next one is control the costs. Cost means budget required to complete the project. The project manager must have to complete the cost of the project within the particular budget. Next one is control the quality. The project manager must have to ensure that the quality standards must be followed during the development of the project. There are many quality standards, for example, ISO, CMMI, and similarly IEEE standards. Next one is control communications. Communication is required between the different stakeholders. Communication is very much important so that important information must be communicated. The project manager must have to control the communications frameworks. Then is control the risk. Risks are the such a factors which can affect quality, cost, or schedule of the project. Project manager must have to resolve these risks. If these risks are not resolved, they may become very much serious and may fail the project. Then we have the control procurements. Procurements means that the customers wants the particular functionalities, so that we have to procure the requirements for the customers, that must be controlled. So that means that customers needs must be controlled. Control stakeholders engagement. We have multiple stakeholders during the development of the projects. For example, tester is one of the stakeholders. Similarly, developers is another stakeholders, quality assurance is personnel are another stakeholders. Similarly, customers and users are also different stakeholders. Similarly, liaison officers are also stakeholders. Project manager is also one of the important stakeholders. So control stakeholders engagement means, for example, different stakeholders want to meet with each other, so that the project manager must have to provide the good engagement of the stakeholders. So here, the project manager is responsible to identify different sort of the uh, meeting schedule for the different stakeholders. Now, project review. Project review means that we have to review, rethink about the project. So during a project, it is normal to have a multiple number of formal project management reviews. So we perform many sort of the reviews here to perform the that to know that the project is working well. They are concerned with reviewing overall progress and technical development of the project, and the checking whether the project and the goals of the organization paying for the software are still aligned. So reviewing is very much important. The project manager must have to check that the goal of the project is in fact achieving, and also the project is developing according to our budget and our schedule. So the outcome of the review may be decision to cancel a project. For example, if the outcome of the project is that the project is not still aligned, so that means the project may be cancelled. The development time for the large software project may be several years. During that time, the organizational objectives are almost certain to change. These changes may mean that the software is no longer required, or that the original project requirements are inappropriate. Sometimes the projects become so much lengthy by their schedules. So possibly it is that the organization may decide that certain requirement may change, or there may be certain changes in the projects, or maybe that the projects may be cancelled. So that's why reviewing is very much important. So this is the important responsibility of the project manager to review the all activities of the project. So management may decide to stop software development or to change the project to accommodate the changes to the organizational objectives. So the project may also be changed, and if the organization objectives change, then the project should change according to that organizational objectives. Next one is very much important activity, personal selection. Personal selection here means the staff required to select for the development of the project. There may be many staff required for the development of the project, including the tester, analyst, designer, implementational, that is coder, or the programmer. Similarly, we can also select the advertisement officers for advertising the projects. So these are many people who will use the projects. We will work on the project. There are three different reasons that sometimes we do not require well experienced staff members. We require fresh graduate for development of the project. There are three reasons why we require fresh people. Number one, the project budget may not cover the use of highly paid staff. So less experienced and less well-paid staff member have to be used. Sometimes if the project's budget doesn't allow us to hire the high experience and highly paid staff members, then we will in fact recruit the less experienced and less paid staff members. Number two, staff with inappropriate experience may not be available either within an organization or externally. It may be impossible to recruit the new staff to the project. Within the organization, the best people may be already be allocated to another projects. So sometimes the well-experienced people may not be available in the market. So then we have to use or we have to select the less experienced staff members or the fresh students working on the project, because possibly the experienced project people in the organization, they are already allocated to the other projects, and we have some small projects, then we will utilize or we will recruit less experienced staff members for the project. Number three, the organization may wish to develop the skills of its employees. Inexperienced staff may be assigned to a project to learn and to gain experience. Sometimes organizations want to develop the skills of their employees, so or they want to increase the pool of their employees. So that's why inexperienced staff member may be assigned to the project. They will learn and they will get experience there, and they will later they will become a useful employees for our project. Next one is personal selection process. Personal selection means staff selection process. This is the 6 steps, different activities which are used in selection of the staff. Number one, initial screening, applications and interview. Here we will perform initial screening. Initial screening means we will check the resumes of our candidates, and we will screen out, and then we will do the interview for all those we have screened. So those in fact candidates we have selected, and we said that these may be our possible next staff members. Then after initial interview we will conduct the testing. Number two, employment test. So employment test means that here we will test the our initial interviewed employee. So that means that we will perform some sort of the written test. This test will be relevant according to the position for which they have applied. Next one, number three, is selection interview. Here we will conduct a very detailed selection interview. Selection interview means that we will ask from them about their expertise and also about their job status and also about the current trend in the software development. Next one, number four, is background and reference checks. If the employee is referred by the some other persons, for example, that person who is the referee of the employee, we will check the background of the candidate, and also we will check the reference of the candidate, because reference is very much important, that always good people refer good people. So that's why we will check the reference. Next one, number five, is the physical examination. Here we will test physically our candidates, because it is possible that the employees should have some problem with their physical fitness. For example, we will test their eye side. Similarly, we will test their IQ level. Similarly, we will test their physical fitness. So here, the physical examination is very much mandatory to be conducted. And the sixth one is decision to hire. And last, we will hire the decision. So when a best person who passes all from their 5 phases, at the end we will select his or her, him or she or he as like our employee. Okay, next one is personal evaluation. Here we will evaluate the task of the employees. So the project manager has to evaluate the skills of the personnel. For this purpose, the rating system is used to evaluate the tasks of the employees. So this one is the personal rating system. We will find different rating criteria here, that for example, excellent, good, average, and poor. So here we will specify for the name of the persons, and then we will specify the rating criteria for different tasks. For example, he is good on programming, good on Java, good on database management system, and etc. are excellent. So we will check here. If there is the good or excellent criteria for the one, that means that particular employee is working very well. And if there's poor, so that means that he needs proper training and workshops, seminars, study tours for him or her, so that she or he may become a good employee for us. Next one is report writing. In the report writing, project manager is responsible to write the very much concise and complete report about different phases of the project. So project manager is usually responsible for reporting on the project to both the client and the contractor organization. So the client is that person who buy the projects, and contractor organization is that organization who has developed the project. So they have to write concise, coherent, and document that has the abstracts critical information from the detailed project reports. So they must be able to present this information during the progress review. So report writing is a very much technical activity, and the project manager has the responsibility to write this report. Mostly the English language is used for writing the report because it is internationally understood language. So that's why English is very much better, and it is also a standard language. Similarly, consequently, if you are a project manager, you have to be able to communicate effectively both orally and in a written format. Now, we also record written reports and also record oral reports. For example, if we are doing freelancing and we are chatting with the different stakeholders, then the project manager has a good speaking abilities. Also, he has a good writing abilities. He should be able to write according to the standard for the particular project. Last one is the report presentation. Here, the project management is responsible for report presentation to different stakeholders. For example, project manager has to discuss the project for the progress, or to discuss the schedule or the costing. Similarly, project manager has to give presentation about the different tasks to the programmers. So the report writing, report presentation is very much technical activities in which the project manager should have a good skills of spoken languages. Mostly English language is preferred here because it is international language, and most of the people understand English language very well. So that's why report presentation should be in the English language. Dear student, this is the end of this lecture. If you have any question, you can send me an email. My email ID is m.kadeem@kutch.edu.pk. And if you want to read all these topics from the books, this is the book reference Software Engineering by Ein Sommerweil, 8th edition. Thank you very much.